Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen, and we are staying local again this week. There's this huge hill. I say huge, I think it's about 300 or 400 meters, but it kind of looms over what would be the eastern side of the city of Lancaster, up here in the northwest, and it's called Clough Pike, and that's where I'm headed up to today. I've never been up here before. It took me 20 minutes to get to the car park from where I live, from my front door, which is just extraordinary. But I think it's going to be really, really nice. We're just inside the wonderful Forest of Bowland, which is an area of outstanding natural beauty here up in the northwest of England. So hopefully we should get some nice photography. It's going to be, if you don't know this area, I'm hoping, although I've never been up there, I'm assuming it's going to be quite like maybe the Peak District, something like Kinder Scout, quite similar to the Shropshire Hills, you know, rolling hills, quite quaint, moorland, that sort of thing. And one thing that I have been hoping for is heather. Still on the heather hunt. So hopefully we get more of this up on Clough Pike, but apart from that, no real plan. Just going to walk up the hill and see what I can find back this way. Eventually when we get higher, we're going to get some gorgeous vistas back over Morecambe Bay. So let's crack on. So this is brilliant, honestly. I kind of, like I said at the start, I didn't really know what to expect coming here, which is not necessarily a bad thing. I've not really even started going up Clough Pike yet already. We've got this beautiful forest you can see behind me. Could be a little woodland to explore, you know, some other time going forward in the future. However, look at what I have stumbled upon here. Look at this. How cool is that? This little brook. I think if I was in Cumbria, I'd call it a beck. It feels like there's a million different names in the north of England for a little stream. But yeah, nice little brook. And I think, guys, we're going to have to get the camera out here. We're left with no choice. It's too nice. Let's see what we can get. So this is really cool, actually. I guess I wasn't really expecting to take this sort of image. I knew there was a little brook that ran down from Clough Pike. I think there's actually 2 or 3, but I didn't know we were going to get any small cascades. And actually, I just double checked on my OS map, and further up this brook, there is actually a waterfall, apparently, according to the OS map. So if the path allows me, then I might go and check that out as well. But this is cool. Compared to the waterfall that I photographed a couple of weeks ago in Shropshire, there's a hell of a lot more water here, which just makes it, in my opinion, a little bit more interesting to photograph. Now, this isn't going to be incredible. I think it's a very, very messy scene, so it's quite difficult. I might try a second photograph after this one and maybe go for something a little bit abstract. I'm not sure yet, but for now I've got the 16 to 35 on, and we are at 16 mil, nice and wide, and I'm just trying to capture it. Obviously important to mention, trying to capture it as a line that kind of moves through the composition from the top to the bottom, and it kind of sweeps from the top left down to the top right. So it's a nice simple idea with regards to my composition. Now, a couple of things. Firstly, it's really dark in this little wood, so I definitely don't need any neutral density filters on the front. And in fact, ironically, I'm having to bump my ISO up because I need a bit of a quicker shutter speed, so that I can capture the movement in this water without it being like too milky. You know, I still want to capture a little bit, I want to preserve a little bit of detail in these gorgeous cascades. So shutter speed, I'm trying 3 different ones, and I'll choose my favourite when I get home. One at half a second, one at a quarter, one at 1/8. And yeah, once I've got it up on the bigger screen at home, I'll be able to choose which shutter speed looks best with regards to the moving water. f7.1, ISO 500. I'm shooting at f7.1 because I don't want to knock my ISO up too much more. Another thing is I am focus stacking. I'm capturing a little bit of this bank here that's right next to the front of my lens, which is really close, and because I'm shooting at f7.1, I'm opening up the aperture a little bit more than I'd like in this case. I have to make sure I'm getting the focus right, so I'm doing one image that's focused on the immediate foreground and one that's just focused on one of the cascades about halfway into the photograph, and I'll blend them together, of course, so we get a nice even focus from the bottom of the image right up to the top. But yeah, I suppose looking at the composition now, what I'll probably do in post-production is actually darken all the areas that surround the waterfall to try and encourage the eye to only look at the waterfall and the highlights from the cascades, because like I said just a second ago, it's just pretty messy. There's rocks, twigs, dead leaves, random bits of soil and long grass all over the shot, so I don't think that would be very pleasing. But yeah, if I can darken them areas down a little bit in post-production in Lightroom, I think that'll help out quite a lot. So like I said a minute ago, very, very unexpected to start off the day, but hopefully a nice image nonetheless. I know what you're all thinking. Henry, there's a photograph there. Get the camera out. I know, there definitely is, but we are about an hour and a half till sunset, and my goal is to get up to Clough Pike. We're getting closer, and this one is in the memory bank. So we're not far off now. Clough Pike, the summit is just up there, so yeah, not too long to go. It's stunning, definitely very, very Peak Districty. We've got these gorgeous crags or boulders. I just feel like they've got so much character. I don't quite know how to explain it, but looking at them now, they look almost kind of cartoon-like, and with the heather sort of dotted in between them every now and again. Honestly, what a spot. We're getting views back over towards the Lake District over Morecambe Bay. It is mint. So I'm going to get up to the summit, but I've got a funny feeling that the better photography is actually going to be back down here, but I want to get up there anyway. So let's crack on. Oh, so I made it up to the top of Clough Pike, as you've seen, and it was glorious. Wonderful 360 degree views all across Morecambe Bay, all down here towards my hometown of Morecambe and stuff, which is really nice actually. I've never been up here because I know the geography of the area so well. It's almost a bit strange. I can sort of pinpoint exact places, which is absolutely awesome. Unfortunately, at the top of Clough Pike, and actually even here where we are now, I think this time of year they burn the heather deliberately, and I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's because people do a lot of hunting here. They hunt perhaps grouse or pheasants. I'm not 100% sure, so that's a little bit of a shame. However, you saw on the way up there was tons of heather, so I am going to try and catch some of that on the way back down. I've got a couple of ideas for compositions, but you can see we're set up for a composition right about here, and it's going to be really nice, I think. And I wasn't really planning on taking an image. I'm honestly like 2 minutes from the top of Clough Pike, but look at this this selection of these sort of cartoony rocks. Really reminds me of the Peak District, and they've just got this really nice sort of bend into the vista in the background into Morecambe Bay. And you might be able to see it in a minute, but we've got these. It's raining across the bay and it's absolutely beautiful. Across the Irish Sea, right off in the distance, you can see the rain coming down, and we're getting these kind of patches of light across the Lake District fells. It's absolutely gorgeous. And we've got two patches of light at the minute that are kind of left and right hand side of Black Combe, which is this kind of dome shaped mountain on your left hand side or right hand side. I never know which side things are. It looks wonderful, and of course I'm capturing my hometown as well, so as a personal image. Yeah, that's really awesome. So ISO 100, 1/5 of a second, they're both fairly irrelevant, and I'm shooting at f11, focus 1/3 of the way into the image. That's a fairly shallow depth of field. I'm shooting at f11, so we should have a decent focus throughout there. But yeah, I think this is going to be a fairly nice shot, very much an image that I envisioned or pre-visualised that I'd get up here, even though I hadn't been to this particular hill before. But I think it's going to be lovely. So I'll show you this one now, and hopefully I can grab one more image down there where we've got the heather, the vibrant heather. So I am in a bit of a rush because right off in the distance there, over Morecambe Bay in the direction where the sun is setting, it is about 40 minutes till the sunset, by the way. There's just this kind of gap on the horizon, these beautiful rays are coming down, and it just looks like any second now, I don't know, probably in about 5 or 10 minutes, more likely, and the sun's going to drop below them sort of stormy clouds, and we're actually going to get either a nice sunset or a short period of really nice evening golden light. So I'm trying to rush down to where we had that more vibrant heather, you know, just to try my best to scrape together, let's say, some really nice foreground down here, and you know, obviously fingers crossed that all does happen with the light off in the background, and we could get one more nice photograph. So anyway, let's get a wobble on, see what we can get. There we go, look at that in the background. We've got the heather, we've got the camera set up, we've got some of the cartoon rocks, light, it's kicked off, guys. Exactly like I said a couple of minutes ago. I'm just going to quickly grab a shot there now. Sorry, it's really hard pressing your shutter button with your opposite hand. Yeah, it's all kicked off. It has dipped down below them clouds, and now we're getting this beautiful little dusting of golden light in the foreground, dusting on the header, which is just allowing it to pop. It's giving us that extra vibrancy that we want. This is going to be such a beautiful summer photograph. It looks glorious. If you know the area, Lancaster and Morecambe, you can see Ashton Memorial at Williamson Park, kind of silhouetted. I might even get the telephoto out and get some shots of that. absolutely beautiful. So basically I've got set up really quickly, and I'm sure you've all been there. It's just a case of, oh my god, the light's going to be the light's going to be nice really soon. Let's just try and piece together some sort of decent composition, and hopefully I've managed to do that here. Rocks on the right hand side, the cartoony rocks. We have got, I'm gonna have to grab another shot there. We have got a ton of header here in the foreground. Beautiful summer photograph. Oh, this is what it's all about. Look at that. Absolutely stunning across the glorious Morecambe Bay. I'm bracketing 2 shots either side of the base exposure, so each photograph is like 5 photographs that'll, you know, be blended together somehow so that the exposure is correct. That's just an alternative to using ND grad filters. It's the way I prefer to do it. Yeah, and that's just going to give me an insurance policy when I'm post-processing at home to make sure that the exposure is correct, because like I said, this really is all about the light. So I'm going to stay here for a few more seconds, make sure I get this shot in the bag. I might fine-tune the composition a little bit more. Unreal. I'm going to leave it there, guys. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I appreciate your continued support. I could never get that across in these videos. Thank you so much. Yeah, I've got some calendars in. I've got my second batch of calendars in. The first batch sold out. I'm keeping the pre-orders on for a little while longer, so if you would like to buy one, I'll put a link in the video description below. And that, of course, any money, you know, that comes in from the calendars really helps to support what I do. So thank you so much. Look at that! It's going behind the cloud now and it's gone. Anyway, I'm going home. I hope you like this photograph. Out.